It's time for Ghost and Crendor!
Ghost and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning! Broadcasting live! In 4-hour recording studio. Recording! Wake your ass up! It's the next Crendor in the morning! Hello, everybody! Welcome back to Cax and Crendor in the morning!
What?
Cax and Crendor in the morning!
I couldn't tell.
I had like a stroke.
Yeah.
I had a stroke and I don't know what.
Cax and Crendor.
You know what? Don't make fun of me. I could have been dying right there.
That's true. It's like that news lady.
It is just like her.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, if you laughed at that, you're a bad person.
You're a terrible person.
Terrible person.
Laughing at me. How dare you? I'll have none of it. So, we're back from PAX, and we had another wonderful panel.
Yes.
And again, ludicrously, it was packed.
I know.
I can't figure it out. Every time I'm there, I think, well, this is the year. This is the year where we didn't fill the room. This is the year where no one cares anymore.
Yep.
And still, for some reason, people still show up.
Thank God.
And I can't figure out why.
Either way, I'm happy because I thought I'd be irrelevant by now. So luckily.
That's what I'm saying. I keep thinking, like, one of these days, we're going to show up, and it's going to be like every other panel where it's like 3 dudes.
Yeah.
They're like, I have a question about T-shirts.
And the
How do
other
I
two,
make my own?
the other two are just there to like sit and rest.
Yeah, they're like, I've had a rough day.
It's like, what panel is this?
Don't say that. Oh, no. Don't say that. Now I think everyone there is just there to sit and rest.
Listen.
I hear these two assholes got a big room. Let's go over there.
I mean,
no, don't say that.
I'll
There
take
goes
what
my
I can
ego.
get.
Crushed.
Those are my kind of people.
I don't even know what this is, but we actually had a lot of that this year. Never mind. We had a lot of people that were like, I don't really know what you do, but I watched it and I thought it was funny, so
Dude.
can I have an autograph? And we're like, yeah.
That one girl that wanted to see Jacksepticeye and then got to see us instead.
Oh, God. Guys. Oh, my God. So when we first got to our signing, Jacksepticeye was finishing up right as we started. Mm-hmm. And people from his line who couldn't get to see him were like dragged to our line. So after a long day of signing and like seeing all these fans were really ecstatic and we were like blown away by it. The last 2 or 3 were little kids dragged by their parents to see us because we were just as good. Oh my God. Their expressions, this one little girl was not having it. She was so fed up with us. And the dad's like, yeah, hey, these guys are funny. They're really there. Let's take a photo. And she just like stood there completely pissed off.
I remember he was just like, you want a photo? And she was just like, not really. And I was like, all right. I mean, cool.
That was maybe my favorite moment of the con. It really puts your life into perspective.
It
like,
does.
You have all this like, yeah, I'm so excited that all these people want to see me. Not really. This girl didn't give a shit.
I mean, she was like a tween girl. She's not going to understand.
No, she wasn't even like she might have been
was.
Maybe 12. Really? You think she was older?
No, like isn't that what a tween is? Like 12 or 13?
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah. Because then if you're 13, you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought like tweens were like 13, 14, 15. And then the 16, 17, 18 was like a teenager.
Either way,
and
she
then
was
19, 20, 21 was like young adult, right?
She was that.
Is there rules on this?
There's got to be. Hold on.
Is there rules? What is a tween? Let's look this up.
Age.
I'm going to ask this. What is a tween? God, I need to know what things say. A tween is a new word that describes youths who are roughly between the ages of 8 and 14, who are between childhood and the teenage years. The term tween is a blend of words between and teen. Okay, there we go.
This Urban Dictionary says a girl aged 9 to 14, too old for toys but too young for boys.
That's creepy though. Like that's gross.
I mean, it is Urban
Dictionary.
Dictionary.
I like my version way better. That's like too old for toys, too young for boys. That's like a little.
It's Urban Dictionary,
sure.
all right? This is the same website as like
sure how I feel
stupid
about
shit
that.
like corn puck.
That's true.
And
I don't want to know what a corn puck is.
and just
Don't
like,
look up a Philadelphia two-step. Don't look it up.
I'm not going to do it.
Don't you do it.
I'm not going to do it. I won't. Either way, she was very disappointed.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I had fun though, and again, we had another amazing con, and I am super excited that everyone showed up and we got to have some time with you guys. But while we were there, I mentioned 2 very important things that we're going to talk about on this episode.
Yes.
Before I get into them, though, apparently you have a plane story equal to my plane story of almost dying on a plane.
Well, do you even tell this story on the thing?
I told it at the con. I guess I can tell it here. So I took off from LAX, and, I love Virgin America. I think they're a great airline company. But for some reason, this was the flight of the damned. Every so often, I fly so much, every so often I get one of those flights.
Yeah.
Within minutes of taking off, they were like, well, the internet's not working. And then they were like, there's a few issues with the power here and there, so you can't plug anything in. Meanwhile, I'm on a flight with YouTubers and streamers and PR people, and half of them have Nintendo Switches, and they're trying to plug them into outlets that do not work. Everyone's losing their mind. Everyone's bored. Me, I fly by sleeping. I like to go to bed leaving and wake up somewhere different. As all this is going down, I close my eyes, pass out. I wake up several hours later, because we're going cross-country. I wake up several hours later, and there is this announcement happening. And it's like, and it's the captain, and I can barely understand it, but I think something's up because I see stewardesses, Jesus, what is it, 1970? Flight attendant running up in the old stewardess, running up and down the aisle and closing stuff, and people seem very agitated, but I guess I just assume we're close to landing. But since we're not going to the point where my ears are popping, I know we're not close, so I'm like, back to sleep I go. I wake up as we're coming in, and we're maybe 5 minutes out from landing, and we're over Boston Harbor, and we're circling around to the airport, and I open my eyes, and everyone is stressed. The flight attendant's like strapped in. Everyone is strapped down. People are looking around. One person's crying. Like, it is insane. And I'm like, what the shit? And the woman next to me goes, sweetie, I didn't want to wake you because you looked like you were sleeping. But the captain says we may crash and to brace for impact. And I'm like, what? And because we're so close to landing, I don't think I fully have time to accept what's happening. And everyone around me is losing their mind. And as we start to land, I see fire engines and ambulances and police cars all on the runway. And then we just land. Like, we land. And I look around, and everyone's sort of just, like, still normal, and nothing happened at all. And then the captain comes on, and it says,
you just got
well,
punked.
looks like it fixed itself. Yeah, he's like, looks like it fixed itself. And the flight attendant goes, thank you all for not panicking. I actually tweeted, you can look this up, I tweeted, anyone on this flight with me, were we going to crash? Because I did not, I thought I was getting punked.
Yeah.
I thought the woman next to me was just messing with me.
Yeah.
Because it made no sense. But there are all these telltale signs around us of like, we are in a panic. Everything seems to indicate we were going to crash. So when I get into baggage handling, I see a bunch of streamers there, and I'm like, guys, what just happened? And everyone there is, one guy messaged his girlfriend and was like, I love you. Always remember I love you. And one person was actually tweeting out at the time, I think we're going to die. Like, oh my. I'm telling you, I think I was this close to dying in a plane crash, but not really. And I would have slept through it. My favorite Twitter reply was a guy goes, you almost slept through your death. You won't get that chance again until you're 75. And I laughed so hard because it's the perfect joke. The irony of it is right before the flight, Stephanie from the Devolver PR people,
yeah,
she was talking with us in the waiting area for the whatever they call that when you get on a plane. She was talking about how she hates flying, and she was like, this is the one time I don't fear crashing because I know you're on the plane. The irony of that, afterwards she messaged me and was like, I was so scared and I wanted alcohol and they wouldn't give me alcohol and I was freaking out. And I was like, why wouldn't they just give you booze?
Yeah,
you're going to die, pop that open.
Yeah, seriously. Start handing it out. Apparently
one girl was reclined in her chair and when the flight attendant was like, please move your chair forward. She said, why? We're just going to die anyway. That's a real thing that happened on this flight. We were on a flight that I think the best part, when I landed, hours later, I get a message from Virgin America, $75 rebate.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, they gave me $75 for my trouble.
For sleeping.
For sleeping through my death. Yeah, so that was, I don't even know, I don't know how to describe all of that. It was so bizarre and weird, and it happened, and I know it happened, but I didn't experience it, right? It's like a memory of your childhood that you only know that memory because everyone's told you that it happened.
Yeah.
When you were so young you don't remember.
Yeah.
It is that. I don't remember any of this except the very end, but I know what happened throughout the trip because everyone's told me what happened.
That's so crazy.
To me, it was like I was outside of the event looking in, and it was like a TV show or something. I didn't experience it.
It's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing, too.
Right? I missed all of it. I missed everything that could have happened with this flight. I'll be real honest. I'm kind of okay with that. It seems like it was pretty shitty.
Yeah.
I'm okay with all this. I feel real good about having slept through all of it, which means really I can sleep through anything. I've slept through earthquakes. I sleep through anything. When I sleep, I go down. It would take you blaring noises right in my face for me to wake up. It's just fact.
It's just tranquilizers.
Yeah. My body has built-in tranquilizers. Just down I go. I'm like a bear. I hibernate. I'm just like, yeah, I'm down. And that's what happened. It was crazy. So my story was insane.
Yeah.
But I saw you tweeting stuff when you were headed home.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested in this.
My story is just like an accumulation of things that snowballed into just one big story.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, we're going home today, but everyone's like, shit, the blizzard's coming. So I was like, all right, I want to get out of here. But in Chicago, they were also getting snow. So I was like, all right, well, I hope we can go there. But luckily, like, they're pretty good at dealing with snow here, so they're like, whatever. And so we were able to get home. So I was like, all right, flight's not canceled. Let's go. So the first thing what happens, we like get to the airport, and the security is just like everybody's scrambling, and nobody knows what's going on. And they're just like, all right, where are you going? And they're like, I've got the TSA checkpoint list where I can skip the line. And they're like, all right, go over here. And they're like, that's not where it is. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's over there. And they're like,
Can I ask you a question?
So dumb. What?
Can I ask you a question? When it comes to flyers
and
the TSA lines and the screenings, do you ever just want to smack a person?
Yeah.
Like, how do you not know the rules by now?
Oh, that's right.
Like, how do you not know the rules?
Smack.
Ugh.
All right.
I hate it. Learn what to do and do it. Stop being like, well, I thought I could keep this water in here, or I didn't know I had to take my laptop out or take my shoes off. I'm about like, bro, just do it.
I know.
Don't even try to sneak it past them. This kid in front of me held up the line for 10 minutes because he tried to get toothpaste through. And they're like, what is this? And he's like, it's just toothpaste. And the mom's like, you forgot to put it in your baggage that you had taken to the plane. And he's like, I know, Mom. And the security guys are like, we need to scan this for 15 bomb-making materials. So they pull him aside and hold everyone up. I'm like, oh, my God, it's not cute. I will kill you with your own toothpaste.
Make him drink it.
Just squeeze it in his mouth. Like, you like toothpaste, you son of a bitch?
It'd be a good one. You just like, you think it's like going to be a bad thing, you make him drink it. Well, actually, that's like one of those things where, like, if they're a witch and we push them off the mountain, they'll fly to safety.
Yeah. If he was a terrorist, he would have eaten his own bomb stuff and blown up. So, if anything, I'm a hero.
Yeah. So we get in security, and then this family of 3 people. Oh, my God. This mom, daughter, and, like, son. Just 3 of them. She's, like, 40.
It's like a son. He was kind of like a son.
They're, like, 40, and then, like, 13, and, like, 10. And they're just the worst people in security. So they get in line. There's no bins. So they like have to bring more bins over. And he's like, please move so I can put the bins down. And they don't move. And he's like, please move. Please move. And then she's like, and
what?
then moves.
You need the bins, dummy.
Yeah. Then I'm like, okay, whatever. Then they like put their bags into the bins, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to put like your shit into the bins, then the bag separately. And they're like, ma'am, can you please do that? And she's like, kids, do a thing. And they're like, ugh. And then they start like moving around and shit. And I'm just like, just, be normal. All right. And then they walk into the line after they like throw all their shit down. And they're like, please go back to the line or back to your, shit on the like thing until it's all moved through the scanner.
You have to wait.
Yeah. So they go back to it. 10 seconds later, they go back in line. And then they're like, please go back to your shit until it's in the machine. And they're just like, okay, come on, kids, stay by your things. How are they so dumb that they can't like comprehend this thought? And then they have their coats on. And then they go back in line with their coats on. And they're like, go back to your shit and take your coats off. And they're just like, why do we gotta take our coats off? And I was like, oh my Jesus. These are like...
Literally just do what they say so you can put your coat back on in 20 seconds.
As all this is happening, two random...
Crendor, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Maybe we're the bad guys here.
You know what?
Maybe the problem is we are so easily willing to conform to this. Maybe this is a terrible thing. Like, maybe our freedoms are being eroded because we can't keep our coats on, and we're just like, oh, whatever, coats off. Let the government run all over me. Maybe we're the bad guys, Crendor.
No.
When the robots take over, we're gonna be like, well, the robots do have good ideas, though.
No.
Is that us? Is that gonna be us?
No, it can't be.
It can't be. It's out of the question.
It can't be. There's no way.
It's out of the question.
You know what? I'm fine being a bad guy if that's the case. You know what? I know how to follow simple instructions. Okay? So.
Oh, no. Don't say that. Don't say that. The internet's going to be like, Nazis, Jesse Cox and Crendor. They follow instructions very well. Don't say that.
I'm not. I'm talking about coats. All right?
Yeah. Coats. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
We're going to get in a lot of trouble.
You said it all. I didn't say anything.
I didn't say nothing.
I'm just complaining about these people in the line.
Oh, don't complain about people. We're getting in trouble. This is it. This is the episode they pull us off. We're getting in trouble.
So listen, after these ass clowns are done doing all their things and not following any of it, these two random people that work at the airport come up, and they're carrying a bowl of bananas and a big thing of, like, dinner rolls.
What?
And they walk to the front of the line,
What?
and they put it into the x-ray machine.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, what the shit is going on? He put bananas and dinner rolls in the x-ray machine, and then they just waited, and then they just, like, walked past it and got their things.
Do you think they were taken into a restaurant? And more importantly, would you ever want to eat anything that's been through a scanner at an airport?
I don't know. I feel like when they scan you, it's probably taking years off your life.
I guarantee every time you fly, you slowly die. I agree with that.
That's how the government's thinning out the population, InfoWars. They're just like, what if every time they go through that shit.
Chemtrails, man. It's all chemtrails. Government's chemtrails and fluoride. They're getting us.
And then they scan your food, radiate it.
Which, by the way, we are totally okay with.
Yeah, apparently.
We're fine with it, apparently.
Yeah. So, yeah, that happened. I was like, okay. And then the people go back in line, even though their shit's still on the thing. And I'm like, fine, whatever. And then we didn't put our bags on the belt. So I'm like, all right, once their stuff moves up, we'll just stop for a bit. And then we'll put our bags up on the thing. But the guy behind us kept, like, pushing. He kept, like, pushing my bin, like, to keep it all close together. And there's no reason for him to push it. And then finally, I just, like, shoved his bin back. I was like, whap! And I, like, rammed it back and put my shit up there.
I just desperately want someone to take that quote. He kept pushing my bin and make something out of it. I don't know what. I'll let you figure it out, internet. He kept pushing my bin.
He kept pushing my bin, so I pushed his bin back out of the way.
That's damn right. That's the American way.
Yeah.
When someone pushes your bin, you push back.
Yeah, it was Boston, all right?
They respect you for that there.
Yeah, and he did. He didn't, like, say anything. He was just like, all right.
This guy's tough. I don't want to get beat up here in front of everyone else. Fact. That's what he thought.
Finally got through that. Like, all right, whatever. You know, now we're good to go. We're good to just wait in the airport. We go to, like, walk down the one, like, area, and there's this Jamaican lady, and she is yelling at customer service so loud that I think everyone could hear it. And she's just like, my flight to New York is canceled. And she's, like, screaming at them, and they're like,
yeah, but
man.
that sounds very pleasant. It doesn't sound annoying.
But it was
like,
very.
One of these days, I'll beat you right into the beach, boy.
Yeah, but she wanted to go to New York, not the beach. And so.
Could be a beach in New York.
Yeah, but she wasn't going there. Her flight was canceled. She was very mad.
That's true. You're right.
She's very mad, yelling. And she was yelling for a solid, like, 20 minutes. Like, same volume. And then finally, I think she stopped. She, like, ran out of energy. But I only knew that because I walked away. And I came back to go to the Whalburger. Now, Mark Whalburg. Is that his name?
Is this the show? Is there a TV show?
Yeah, this is a TV show. And he opened, like, Whalburgers or some shit. So I remember that.
It's like his brother?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Cousin? Like Waldo Whalburg. Old Waldo. I'm looking this up while you tell this. We'll find out who's in.
Yeah. So, the American reality television series premiered on A&E Network 2014. Behind-the-scenes look at the chain of restaurants owned by Chef Paul Whalburg and his brothers Mark and Donnie.
All right, I know Donnie. Who's Paul Whalburg? Is that like their brother who isn't trying to be famous?
I don't know.
He is.
Really?
Whoa, get out of town. How many Wahlbergs are there? Shut up.
It's a
Shut
lot of
up.
Whalburgers.
Alma Whalburg and Donald Whalburg. Stop having children. Oh my God. All right. Mark Wahlberg, Donnie Wahlberg, Robert Wahlberg, Jim Wahlberg, Arthur Wahlberg,
Oh my God.
Tracy Wahlberg, Debbie Wahlberg, Michelle Wahlberg, Scott Wahlberg, Buddy Wahlberg, Donna Wahlberg. That is 11 kids.
That's way too many kids.
You need to stop. Donald, I've never told anyone this in my life. Stop effing, dude. You got to keep your dick away from Alma.
Come on.
Like anywhere but Alma.
Yeah, anywhere but Alma.
Anywhere but Alma. Anywhere but Alma sounds like a great play, right?
Yeah.
A play starring Sir Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
Anywhere but Alma. Or it
Anywhere
sounds
but
like
Alma.
Malcolm in the Middle. Anywhere but Alma.
Anywhere but Alma. Yeah. Oh, and Alma's the name of the town and the girl.
Oh.
That's the
Oh.
right? We're very good at writing,
Very
but not
good.
actually doing the work.
Yeah. If only.
Yeah.
If only.
If only it was that easy. Oh my God. Then he has like 1,000 nephews. This family's too big.
Yeah, that's
This family
too big.
is too big.
So yeah, I ate a Whalburger. I ordered it, right? And for some reason, they didn't get my name right. They're like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Eric." They're like, "Okay." And then like 10 seconds
Eddie?
later, she's like, "This is the second time today you haven't spelled Eric right. It's with an E." And she like yelled at
Iric?
them in the back. They must have spelled it with an A or something.
Maybe they spelled it A-I-R-I-C-E or I-C.
It's gotta be. And so when they gave me
Eric.
my food, they're like, "Eric with an E." And I'm like, "Thanks." So I ate it. It was okay. It tasted like if In-N-Out was trying to be fancier.
Gotcha.
But
That's the problem. I don't think people understand. You don't want a fancy burger.
yeah.
Burgers shouldn't be fancy. They should be messy and like way too gross for their own good, but like super delicious. That's a burger.
Yeah. So it was
You don't want any of this like, ooh, we put on some foie gras, then put a little bit of sweet yam butter. Like, get out of town.
yeah, get out of here. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't bad. Fries were okay too. It was like slightly above average. That would be my rating. I think Gordon Ramsay would have critiqued it.
Of
He
course.
would've given it a harsh rating. And then Toast wanted a thing, so we went to the smoothie place. Because I was like, oh my God, smoothie. And it had 2 U's. I tweeted that to you. It was smoothie with 2 U's.
You had a much better terminal than we did at the airport. My terminal leaving was 1 McDonald's, and that was it. There was no other food there. And I was like, well, I'm not eating that shit.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds like ours
You had
is a lot better.
smoothies and Whalburgers and crap? We didn't have any of
The
that.
smoothie guy was run by this old Greek man. All he did, he ran it like by himself, and his son ran the cash register. And so we're like, 1 panini thing, and he's like, 1 panini. And he like went to the back, and he would just start making it like really slowly, like watching someone in a kitchen just make a sandwich. And he was just making it, and some guy would be like, "Hey, can I get this cut in half?" He's like, "1 moment." And then he would just keep making the sandwich.
I like your Greek accent.
That's what he
One
sounded
moment.
like. And
and
and then he finished, and then he cut the guy's sandwich in half. Like, he was very articulate and focused on what he was doing.
Of course.
And so then he gave me the food. He's like, "Have a nice day. Thank you very much." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Thank you, smoothie man."
I wish you called him that. Thank you, smoothie man.
So then, sitting across from us was these like 2, like probably in their 50s people. And the guy, he looked like Stephen King. And his wife looked like a weird wife of Stephen King. I don't know what his actual wife looked like, but she looked like a weird woman version
Do
of
you
him.
just imagine the wife of Stephen King being Stephen King in a wig?
Yes.
Because I'll be honest, that's
It's
what
like
I
that.
imagine.
Okay?
That's just what I imagine. Stephen King's wife is Stephen King in a wig. That's all I imagine.
They wanted to go to Florida. And they both sit down, and he's just like, "I can't believe the other flight got canceled. This is the last time we fly commercial."
What is he think he's gonna? We're only flying military.
I don't know. He said that's what
What
he
is-
said. It's the last time we're flying commercial.
What other flight
I was like,
options does he have?
Does he have like a private jet or something?
yeah, who is this guy?
I don't know, but that's what
This
he
is
said.
the last time I fly commercial.
And then the lady just started doing like yoga and push-ups. Like she just
She had
legit
to get it out. She was so stressed. She had to get it out. Stephen King, Stephen King, Stefana King had to get it out.
And then after she's doing yoga and push-ups, she was like, "Hey, can I go walk around?" I just want to go walk around and just, walk and see stuff and everything. He's like, fine, you can walk around, but don't spend any money.
Now that sounds like a loving relationship.
I was like, what is happening? Meanwhile.
Oh, jeez. It still goes.
They were at like 12 o'clock, right? They're directly in front of us. At about 3 o'clock to like that over that way, there was...
I'm starting to get a very good picture of what this place looks like. You're doing an excellent job.
In the seats on the side, there was this man who looked probably 70 and this girl who looked 20 just making out.
Here's the thing. Love it. That is the only way I'm getting through life as far as I'm concerned. That is my future. That's it. That's how I see things going.
They had to be going to Florida too.
Hold on. Let me do the math.
All right.
Shout out to children who aren't born yet. I'll be making out with you in an airport some days in about 50 years. You and I will be making out in an airport.
Probably going to like his Florida shack in Jacksonville.
His Florida shack. His old Florida shack.
The Love Shack. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they were just making out, and they did that, and then they left. I think they went to their terminal, and they were just over here for some reason. And it was just all these old people going to Florida as we waited to like come back to Chicago. And then these old people, the people I just talked about, the like 250-year-old Stephen Kings, they started talking to these other old people, and they were like, "Is that Gladys and Jerry? Is that Gladys and Jerry?" And they're just
they were going together.
"It's you guys." And they just stand up and they start talking. And they started talking about like typical old people things, like the weather over there is just unbelievable. And it's like, did you see it on Facebook? I posted Jimmy. He's dating that girl. He broke up with the other one. That Sally. She's in college. They're like, oh yeah, my granddaughter. She's in college as well, but she's going to that other school, not that one. And I was like, oh my god, this is the most old people. And they're just like, where are you going? Like, I'm going to, Florida Beach. And like, oh yeah, Florida Beach. That's a good beach.
Florida Beach?
It's like, I used to golf there.
Good beach.
I golfed there a few years ago. Like, oh yeah, Florida Beach. I love it.
Old Florida Beach. Yep.
Old Florida Beach. Meanwhile, I just wanted to go home. I just kept looking. I was like, is it time to leave yet? We're all getting on the plane. And we're just like, we get to get out of here before the blizzard hits. And this guy's like helping people like put their shit into the overhead. And this lady puts her coat into the overhead, and he's like, ma'am, I'm going to give you your coat back because we're trying to make more room in the overhead for actual luggage. And she's like, no, my coat goes in the overhead. And he's like, ma'am, we put luggage in the overhead, and then if there's still room, I can put your coat in afterwards. And she's like, no, I am a customer, and I demand that my coat goes in the thing. He just starts looking at everybody else like, what the shit is wrong with this lady? And everyone else is just like, I don't know, man. It's just whatever. And so he's like, okay. And then the guy's like, she can just like, I'll hold her coat. And he's like, thanks. And then she's like, no, I'll hold it. And then she just held her coat.
I understand the concept of I'm a customer and I paid for this, so I should be able to put something somewhere. But I also feel like everyone else on that flight was a customer.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone else should have equal access to the overhead. So why make it a hassle?
I'm a customer. I could take your coat out and throw it for my shit to put in there.
Well, that is our adventure. Those are our adventures. Yeah. So I guess we should jump into Chapter Conversation with Crendor. Crendor, how's that traffic out there?
Traffic today is looking terrible because there are piles of snow mounds out there. Just a lot of snow mounds. And they're stacked up all across the United States. Even in warm areas, snow has started to appear randomly. It's kind of weird. I think it is global warming. Snowmen are probably going to be starting to take over the United States pretty soon. It's like the Great Snowmen Battle of 1446, lost in the record books. The Great Snowmen came out of the ground, and they found weapons. I don't know if they're still going to have those old weapons or if they will acquire new weapons. That is, we're going to find out eventually, but as of now, all we know is they pace yourself, get ready, because it's going to be a winter battle out there. Back to you.
Thanks, Crendor. I, for one, welcome our new snowman overlords.
Me too. I like snowmen.
Yeah, they've never hurt me.
Yeah.
So let's go over to the weather. How's the weather? Probably terrible, considering...
do you think anyone's ever gotten hurt by a snowman?
No, no one.
What
if
about,
they did, it's their own fault.
What if someone was just, like, building a snowman? There's... like really drunk. They just like build snowman.
And it fell on them and like killed them?
They like fell into like the stick arms or the like carrot nose and like poked their eye or like just like something like that.
If it did happen, I'm sure someone will let us know real quick.
Let us know, somebody, if you know anything.
Yes. So what is our weather like out there?
Weather. Let's see. Hold on. Whoppy's still here. He tried to get to PAX East in the blizzard, but they sent him back. So he's still here. Whoppy.
We got him back.
Whoppy activated. 4, 8, 7, 6, 4. Tawas City, Michigan.
Tawas City?
Tawas City, Michigan.
Sounds like a Star Wars location. The Empire has taken over Tawas City. We must get it back for the rebellion.
Wait, is this in...
yes, Tawas City.
Where is this in Michigan? Hold on. This is like... Damn, this is like Upper Peninsula. This is up in the UP area. Up in the UP there? Right by Canada?
Right by Canada. What was that? That was a Jamaican guy. That Jamaican lady's there now.
Ah, shit.
Right by the Canada.
25 degrees Fahrenheit. Clear. Feels like 15 degrees Fahrenheit. UV index 0. Thursday, high 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Thursday night, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Friday, 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Chance of snow, high.
All right. Well, then let's go to sports. How's sports looking?
Sports is looking great. If we take a look, we see a lot of NFL free agency signings continue to happen. It appears the New England Patriots are keeping Hightower. Good for them. He's a solid player. They had to pay him a little more money. But you know what? Sometimes you got to give those guys money to stick around. You know, a lot of big-time signings. The 49ers signed Malcolm Smith to a 5-year, $26 million deal, which is an awful deal. He's a really bad player, and for some reason, the 49ers continue to get worse with their great decisions in the NFL draft's a year or a month away, not a year.
One whole year away.
It's a month
Very
away.
Exciting.
I want to live stream myself reacting to the NFL draft. I
think people
Twitch
would enjoy
people.
that.
I'm gonna ask
People
Twitch
would
if
enjoy
I can do that. They would. I would love it. We'd like do statistics. Look at the player things. It'd be great.
I kind of want to see how you do statistics. How you, in particular, do statistics.
I'm great at statistics. I'm one of the top statistics stat men around.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Let's see. NBA. They're still playing. They're not at the playoffs yet. They're at that stage where it's just kind of like there's the good teams and the teams trying to barely make it in that are just going to lose anyway, and it's just going to be like the good teams.
Yep. As always.
Same with hockey. They're kind of at the same point. They're just waiting to see. Let's see. Washington's number one, though. They're usually number one, and then they lose in the first round. They're really good at that. And Blackhawks still number one as well. Go Blackhawks.
Go Blackhawks.
Blackhawks. That's it. Sports.
All right. Well, Crendor, I know we have our big news story of the day, but I want to preempt you a little bit.
Okay.
With an update. A very important update.
Okay.
Watch Your House. Now occupied.
What?
That's right.
What?
A house that has been vacant more than 2 years because of letters from a stalker calling himself The Watcher is now occupied. Rented to a man who apparently has no frets over the threats. The man, who would only identify himself as Chris, has been renting the house on the boulevard since February 1. Answering a knock at the door to the home, the smiling tenant came out on the wide front porch and quickly closed the door behind him to keep his 3 dogs inside. He said he never heard about threatening letters sent by this so-called watcher until he responded to an ad in which the owners were offering to lease the 6-bedroom home. Never followed it, Chris told a reporter from New Jersey Advanced Media this week. That's not my issue, he said, with apparent complete lack of concern about the alleged threats. I love this guy. He's like, I don't know my problem. Ain't nobody threatened me.
This guy's perfect for the Watcher house.
Right? He did not want to comment further about the stalker and politely said he didn't want to have a long interview, went back into his house. And that's it. That's the article. Literally, they went to go find out who lived there, and the guy was like, not my problem. Closed the door. Locked him out.
Dude, what if he
That's
was
beautiful.
the one sending the
That's
letters
beautiful.
and now he got the house?
It could be. It could have been Chris the entire time.
Yeah.
Or one of his 3 dogs.
That's true, too. You never know with the dogs.
Dogs are shifty-eyed. You can't trust them.
They are. Especially...
They're a little too friendly, I think.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you leave the house, and then you come back, and you think a ghost did something, but it was the dog.
It was the dog. Definitely the dog.
It's the dog all along.
Or the ghost of the Watcher, one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two.
There was even a movie about The Watcher. This guy's like, oh, never heard of it.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about.
How do you
I
not
don't
even
nothing
know
about
of
The
a
Watcher.
movie about your own house?
This guy is my hero. He just doesn't care. He's like, I just rented this place. It was cheap. I don't care. I'd like to think he was inspired by us, but because he has no clue who it is.
Yeah. He probably doesn't know. If he doesn't know anything about it, he obviously hasn't listened to us.
Obviously.
Clearly.
All right, well, that's mine. What do you have? Give us one good story.
Well, I got two that I found. Seem pretty good. Car twerkers are storming Miami. Could your city be next?
We don't need to go on. This is the story. This is the story.
Yeah, the other one was a human suction cup claims to be real-life X-Man.
Nope. I want the twerking.
All right, we're going twerking then.
We are going twerking.
We're going twerking. That's the idea.
That's the worst Seven Dwarf song. We're going twerking.
Does the idea of car twerkers have you shaking in your boots?
I don't even know what that means.
I don't
what
either.
does it mean?
While the Northeast deals with huge snowstorms, Miami, Florida is dealing with a rash of car twerking. In the past few days, women have been filmed shaking their heinies on top of cars in the Magic City. One woman was caught twerking on top of a car driving westbound on the MacArthur Causeway.
Whoa. These
What?
cars are moving?
Yeah.
Wait,
Hold
are they
on.
standing on the cars?
I'll drop this article right here so you
This
can
is
see.
insane. I thought they were just random women twerking on cars, just like twerking on a car.
No.
This is like, while it's moving?
Yeah, look at the top thing they linked in that article. And you can
I'm
see
watching it right now. There's a video.
Yeah.
This woman is straight up on the roof of the car
Twerking.
twerking. This is not fake. She is out of the car
Yeah.
twerking on a roof.
Yeah. I think she's in the sun. One leg's in the sunroof. The other leg's
Here's the
off
crazy
the car.
thing. There are two other women in the car all singing
Yeah.
to this woman who's twerking. What is happening?
I don't know. One woman was caught twerking on top of a car driving westbound, blah, blah, blah. They recorded her and posted on Twitter. For anyone who thought that twerking had its moment and now it's gone, that clearly is not the case, Corbin told Miami New Times. As social media has taught us, twerking is forever. It is a timeless tradition.
What the hell is going on? What reality are we in right now?
That sounds like a greeting card you get someone like,
It's
twerking.
a timeless tradition.
Twerking is forever.
There's twerking on police cars. There's one girl twerking on a scooter. What is happening? Spring break is out of control. Crendor.
Yeah, spring
Why are we
break.
not at spring break? What is happening? I own a car. Come twerk on me. What is happening right now?
The beachgoer made a poor choice when she mounted one of our vehicles as the officer was retreating. We strongly urge people visiting our beaches to have a good time, not only safely, but responsibly. That's boring.
What the hell? In addition, another woman who was also filmed car twerking on Miami Monday. In the interest of thoroughness, it appears below. Literally, this article is just like, you want to see girls twerking? That's all this article is. Don't you lie.
I always hate how the bottom of these things have like the most prime clickbait. That's like top tier gourmet clickbait down here.
Yes,
Say
this one,
goodbye to iPhone. No one guessed Apple's next product.
11 historical artifacts we still can't explain.
I'm still paying for my dead husband's cell phone because I don't know his childhood friend's name.
This company spent 2 years perfecting gym socks. Angelina Jolie's new go-to travel shoe is surprisingly affordable. Get out of here with these.
This game will eat days of your life. Oh, wait, didn't you have a story about Tito Watts?
I did, but you know what we're going to do?
What?
Save it for next time.
Oh, shit.
Pew, 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 pew. All right, everybody, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next time with another episode very shortly. We're going to try and do these like on the regular now, so get ready for that. We'll see you then. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, bloop. To be continued.